Ladies and gentlemen, Roseanne de BEAUDRAP.
Hey everyone, can you imagine a Christmas without lights? Well, when I was a wee child, I loved those little twinkling little lights on all the trees, anywhere they were in the dark. They were just twinkling and sparkling and just filling my heart with joy. I lived on a farm in central Saskatchewan, and there were only white poplar and black poplar trees in the yard. So when that fresh green pine tree, like Brigitte had just shown us this pine bough, oh, it smelled so good. And that fresh forest scent filled our cramped little farmhouse and made it somehow magical and felt cozy. It just brought so much joy to our little farmhouse. So when our sisters, my younger brothers and I would watch our sisters bring out these big boxes of treasured Christmas ornaments, we got so excited. We weren't allowed to touch those ornaments because they were glass and we might be clumsy. So my sisters would bring these ornaments gleaming with all their little colors, and they would place them on the pine bough, and it would just give a little bit with its weight of its treasure. And it was just so beautiful. And soon the whole tree was full of Christmas ornaments. And last of all, plugged in the lights, and they were so brilliant and twinkling and just brought that tree to life. Nothing under the tree yet, though, not till Christmas Eve. So until Christmas Eve, there was only the family Bible under the tree, opened up. It was a big Bible, and it opened up to the luminescent painting of the Holy Family in the stable. So their halos were glowing, and in this hushed darkness of the stable. It's just such a beautiful painting of the Holy Family. So on Christmas Eve, one of my favorite times of the year, if we had been good and had our nap during the day, we got to go to midnight mass, 16 miles in the dark, under those twinkling stars. And along the road, we could see the little twinkly lights adorning the farmhouse roofs. Oh, they're so beautiful. And in our parish church, we celebrated Christmas with all of our grandparents and cousins and aunts, and the whole community was there. It was awesome. So every year we got to spend Christmas with our local families. But one year we got to go on a trip. And that was the year that I was filled with dread, because our teacher, I was in grade 3, 1968. And at that time, our teacher had read a scientific article that said something about climate change. This was brand new. I'd never heard of this before. And she said, now, if we don't turn the lights off after we leave the room, when we leave the room, we might run out of electricity. If we don't take care of our resources, we might run out of electricity. And I thought, oh my gosh, no electricity? That means no twinkling lights for Christmas. Well, that year, after having Christmas with our families in the local community, we were going on a huge trip. First time ever, we were going to Swan Lake, Manitoba to visit with our cousins there. So my mom had packed the turkey sandwiches on her homemade white bread the night before. I'm sure she must have packed a lot, because there was a lot of us piling into that white Ford station wagon with the paneling on the side. There was my 3 sisters and I in the back seat, 2 younger brothers and my mom and dad in the front seat. And we left early in the morning, drove out of the farmyard, the crunching snow under the weight of the tires, off on our huge trip. Now, along the way, we saw a lot of country houses, town buildings, and in the dark, as the dark settled in over us, all the twinkling lights on these farmhouses and houses in the towns and churches, and it just looked so beautiful. But I kept thinking, oh my goodness, this might be the last time that I see these lights. How come on the radio I'm only hearing these joy-filled Christmas songs, And the announcers aren't saying anything about a scientific article. Hadn't they read all this news about how we have to conserve our energy or we won't have electricity? Well, I can tell you that we had a fantastic time in Manitoba with Antoinette, Uncle August, and all of our cousins. It was the best Christmas ever up to that point. And now I still have twinkly lights for Christmas because I make sure I shut off the lights as I leave the room. So I have many more enjoyable Christmases with all of these twinkly lights.